Dr. Marcus Blackwood adjusted his neural interface headset as the transport shuttle's engines hummed to a stop. Through the reinforced viewport, the research station Kepler-7 floated against the star-speckled void, its rotating habitat rings casting shadows across the hull. After 18 months of preparation, the most dangerous xenobiological specimen ever captured was finally within reach. The creature in Containment Bay 12 defied every known evolutionary principle. Vorthack cubs, according to the preliminary reports, were apex predators from birth, genetically engineered killing machines that had wiped out 3 colonial settlements on Proxima Centauri b. Their adult forms stood 12 feet tall, possessed retractable plasma claws, and could phase shift through solid matter. The military wanted weapons. The scientific community wanted answers. Marcus wanted neither. As the station's lead xenobiologist, he'd spent decades studying alien life forms, but nothing had prepared him for this assignment. The cub, designated Subject V7, was barely 6 months old according to carbon dating, yet initial scans showed it possessed the cognitive capacity of a human adolescent. More disturbing were the reports from the capture team. The creature had allowed itself to be taken, almost as if it wanted to be here. The containment bay hummed with energy barriers when Marcus entered. Force fields shimmered blue-white around a transparent aluminum chamber, inside which sat the most extraordinary being he'd ever encountered. The cub was roughly the size of a large dog, covered in iridescent scales that shifted from deep purple to silver as it moved. 6 limbs ended in what could only be described as hands, each finger tipped with retractable crystal formations that pulsed with bioluminescent patterns. But it was the eyes that stopped Marcus cold. Ancient. Intelligent. Unmistakably aware. Day 1, initial observation. Marcus spoke into his recorder, settling into the observation chair. Subject appears healthy, alert, and... He paused as those mesmerizing eyes fixed on him through the barriers. Curious. The standard protocol demanded maintaining distance, using robotic probes for interaction, and treating the specimen as a potential biological weapon. Marcus had written half of those protocols himself. Yet something about this creature's demeanor suggested they were fundamentally wrong about its nature. Over the following days, Marcus observed V7's behavior patterns. The cub didn't rage against its confinement or attempt escape. Instead, it seemed to study him with the same intensity he brought to his observations. It mimicked his movements, tilted its head when he spoke, and most remarkably, began creating complex geometric patterns in the sand of its enclosure. Patterns that Marcus gradually realized corresponded to mathematical sequences he'd been working on. The breakthrough came on day 7. While reviewing footage of the cub's pattern making, Marcus noticed something extraordinary. V7 was solving equations. Not just simple mathematics, but advanced quantum field theory calculations that would challenge a graduate student. It's not just intelligent, Marcus whispered to himself, staring at the recordings. It's trying to communicate. That evening, against every regulation in the Xenobiological Handbook, Marcus made a decision that would change both their lives. He deactivated the secondary containment barriers, leaving only the primary field between them, and sat cross-legged on the floor of the observation room. V7 approached the remaining barrier cautiously, its scales shifting to a soft golden hue Marcus hadn't seen before. The creature raised one delicate hand to the energy field, and to Marcus's amazement, pressed it flat against the barrier directly opposite his own hand. "You understand, don't you?" Marcus said softly. "You know we're scared of you." The cub's bioluminescent patterns pulsed in what seemed like a response, slow, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. Its eyes never left Marcus's face, and in that moment, he saw something that shattered every assumption about the Vorthack species: gentleness. The decision to lower the final barrier wasn't rational. It violated every safety protocol, endangered the station, and could cost Marcus his career. But as he watched V7's patient, intelligent responses to his presence, he realized that fear had blinded them to a fundamental truth. The creature wasn't a weapon. It was a child. With trembling fingers, Marcus deactivated the primary containment field. V7 stepped forward hesitantly, its scales now shimmering with soft pastels that seemed to pulse in sync with Marcus's heartbeat. Instead of attacking, instead of revealing hidden predatory instincts, the young Vorthak did something completely unexpected. It climbed into Marcus's lap, curled up like a contented cat, and began purring, a sound like distant thunder mixed with wind chimes. As Marcus tentatively stroked the creature's warm scales, V7's patterns shifted to match the neural rhythms he recognized from his own brain scans. The cub wasn't just intelligent, it was empathic, capable of reading and responding to emotional states with unprecedented precision. "What have we done?" Marcus whispered, finally understanding the truth. The Vorthak weren't monsters. They were evolution's answer to loneliness, a species designed not to hunt, but to bond. The colonial attacks hadn't been predatory behavior. They had been desperate attempts at communication, misunderstood by humans too frightened to listen. In his lap, V7 purred softly, its patterns now synchronized perfectly with his own heartbeat, and Marcus realized that everything they thought they knew about the universe had just changed forever.